know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Google signing on, John to the Hancock and
welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy Janlutis, and today I want to do something a little different. You see, in a lot of my other videos, I'll give a message to get you amped to go out and take on the world, or I'll try to make you think about some changes you may need to make to keep moving forward in your life, or I'll try to change your perspective in certain areas to see things a little differently. But today, I want to explain to you, I wanted to teach you how to unlock some of the power of your mind to actually move in the direction you want to go in any area of your life. If you go back to a lot of my other videos, I talk about the power of your mind. I talk about the power people have at their fingertips. But the thing is that not too many people actually activate that power and use that power to help them live the lives that they want to live. In Up the Ante, I explained to you guys how raising the standards of your life and expecting more of yourself will bring you to new areas. But what are those new areas? Today's message, guys, the power of a goal. You see, in my free time, I can't just sit and watch TV or play a video game. I need to read. I need to learn. I need to do something productive with my time. And I've read about a lot of people, a lot of my role models, a lot of the most successful people in the world at what they do. I wanted to figure out what it was that they did that I could do to become successful in what I wanted to do. And there's pretty much one connection that each and every one of them had, which was that they knew their outcome. They knew what their end goal was, and they weren't going to stop until that goal was reached. So I sat there and I asked, all right, they had their goal. What did they have to do to make that goal a reality? So I kept reading, and I found my answer. And it was called the pleasure and pain principle. But that's going to come later in this video. But I want you to keep it in your mind until we get there. You see, we all have goals in life, whether you believe it or not. Some of us have goals that make us want to get up out of bed in the morning. Some of us have goals that make us want to take on the world. But then there's some people who just set bad goals. They're lousy. They aren't compelling enough. They aren't big enough to make you want to get up out of bed in the morning and inspire you to take the steps you need to achieve them and to achieve the life you want. Some people's goals are just too small. You need to set big goals for yourself that make you want to get out of bed in the morning. Something that inspires you. Something that when you think about it, ignites that spark in you. Something that makes your heart beat just a little bit faster every time you think about achieving it. Something that you feel you need to achieve before this life is up. You know what? We're going to call that step 1 in this video. When this video is up, guys, I want you to go grab a piece of paper and take the steps I'm going to lay out for you and use them to take one step closer to the goals, the dreams, and the life you want to live. And the only reason I can speak about this so strongly is because I did this exact process I am explaining to you. And I can honestly say that it's working. Because something happens when you write your goals down. Scientists can't explain it, therapists can't explain it, but the mind does something. The mind does something when you take your goals out of here and put them on a piece of paper. It takes the invisible and makes it visible. It takes a thought and makes it reality. The mind has so much power, but so many people keep it on autopilot and don't use it. Step 1, guys, write down big goals. Write down inspiring goals. Write down the goals you want to achieve in this life. Don't just stick to one goal. Write every goal down. A physical goal, a personal goal, an emotional goal, a spiritual goal. Write down your financial goals. Write down a goal for every area in your life you want to be better. Now here's step 2. I did all these steps less than a year ago, guys. I learned from books, I learned from mentors, classes, role models, and I can honestly say that I am so much closer to the life I want. I am so much more driven because this process helped me so much And I want to help you too. Step 2, guys. Describe your goals in detail. I'm talking about every detail. Describe them, define them, write down everything about that goal. If it's a physical goal, write down how you want to look. Write down the weight you want to be at, the size you want to be at. Write down how great it's going to feel when looking in the mirror at the body you have always wanted. If it's a financial goal, write down how much you want to make in a year. Your ideal yearly income. Literally describe and define what those goals are in every single area of your life. Get them all out there. And here's a key point to this. Write down how long it is going to take to achieve that goal. Now be reasonable about that. Don't say your goal is to be financially free by next week. We can go buy some scratch tickets and hope for the best, but it might take a little bit longer than a week to reach that goal. Be reasonable about labeling how long it will take to achieve that. I know there's probably some people out there saying, I don't know, this seems like a lot of work, and I don't know if it will work for that matter. And if you're saying that, this is where you unlock some of that power of your mind. Because in writing your goals down and describing them in detail and defining them, you are creating the picture in your mind of them. Your mind starts to make connections about those goals. And with those connections, you start to have clarity about how to make your goals happen. And with clarity, you start to see the path open up for you that leads to the achievement of your goals. Here's step 3, guys. The why. What is your why for the goals you have written down? What are the reasons for that being your goal? What are the reasons why you want and need to achieve that goal? Most people don't have clear reasons to why they are going after their goals. And because of that, their drive toward that goal fizzles out and they stop moving forward. If your why, if your reasons are big enough for a goal, you can and will figure out how to achieve it. Step 3, write down your reasons for that goal. Last step, guys. Step 4. This is an important one. Remember that idea of pleasure and pain principle I mentioned at the start of this video? Well, to make sure you stay focused and stay driven to go after your goal until it is achieved, this principle comes in very handy. And I was trying to think of a straightforward way, an easy way to describe this. The way our brains work, how our minds work, is that we link pleasure to the good things in our life we want to keep there, and we link pain to the bad things in our life we don't want anymore, and we tend to move away from them. A lot of the decisions we make is because we linked pleasure or pain to something related to that decision. And why this comes into play with goal setting and actually making sure you will achieve the goals you have set for yourself is because we need to link pleasure to getting the goal. Meaning, we need to write down how great it is going to feel to achieve that goal. Write down what are you going to do when that goal is achieved. Write down everything that comes into your head that brings joy to the idea of you actually reaching your goal. Link pleasure to getting the goal. And then to make sure you have the driving force to keep moving forward to achieve that goal, you gotta link pain to not getting the goal. What is it going to cost you if you don't achieve it? If this goal doesn't happen, what is my life going to be like? Will I be stuck wondering what could have been? Will I be stuck with regret because I didn't take a step to the life I wanted? Could I have had everything? If I didn't quit, could I have made it? When you link pain to not getting the goal, it pushes you forward to make sure you do achieve it. It makes sure we stay driven to see this through to the finish. It makes it a must. Those 4 steps are the key to actually achieving the goals you have in your life. They create the plan to how you are going to achieve them. They start to create the vision in your mind that shows you that you are going to do what you want to do someday. They create the drive to make your dreams become a reality. And if you're saying, well, Bill, what if I fail? What if I do all this and I fail? Good. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. At least you got up and did something. You could fail, but you gained so much strength through what you did. You gained self-confidence so you can adjust and do it again to succeed. That's why I made the anticipation video, so you know what to do if failure does come. But I did this whole process about a year ago, before Once a Week was even started. And I wrote everything out. I wrote it all out in detail, every little thing. And I reviewed those goals last week to check in on my progress and to check to see if I need to adjust anything. And I can tell you this, I am so much closer now than I have ever been. I can see how far I've come since doing all of this, the increase in my life in all areas. And I can see where I'm heading because I created the plan to get there. You need to know what your goals are, guys. Your goals tell you where you are going. If you don't know what the goal is, what are you aiming for? You need to know where you are shooting. If you don't know where the goal is, how are you going to score? And here's the thing. It's your shot, guys. Do you know where you're shooting or not? Until next week.